So I want to introduce Logan to you because I think, because I've been telling you guys know we do a lot of culture analysis on this channel. Where's America heading? Where's the future? Where's all this happening, right? And I've been telling you guys that these Zoomers are super based as fuck. We can't even talk about what we really want to talk about because we'll get banned, and that's how you know it's good. I've seen this guy working in the field. He is a crusher. He's got that natural young alpha edge to him. You know, I really like spending time with this kid. And, you know, he's 22 years old. He's crushing it. I know I'm calling him a kid and stuff. He is a man. You are a man, technically.
Technically, I'm a kid. I am super young.
You are getting man results still. So I'm just going to hand it over to you. And, yeah, we are live on Rumble. Is Rumble not up? Somebody just says Rumble as well. I'm getting a question mark, Rumble. Oh, you know, yeah, it should. I think we are definitely live on Rumble for Ralph asking in the chat real quick. Double checking. Yeah, we're live on Rumble. We're good to go. So we're live on Rumble. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube, and we're live on Twitch. So wherever you are, if you want to come over to YouTube, that's where everybody is piling in. Yeah, we're just going to drop some heat on you because Logan has amazing game. Logan has amazing frame. Okay, which is like the missing component in like 99% of your guys' relationships that you guys need help with me and all the things we're doing. Definitely, this is a podcast that's going to be dropping nothing but hardcore value. So I'm just going to hand the mic off to you. Why don't you just tell us, give us a little bit of your background story. Tell us where you're from. I'll tag in from time to time.
Yeah, so from California, like I said, I'm 22 years old. But yeah, just got out of the military after 4 years of being in the Marine Corps infantry. But you know, I learned a lot of discipline. I learned a lot of hard truths about life. And the one thing it didn't teach me was about power dynamics. Military didn't teach me about money. Military definitely didn't teach me about women. So these are all things that I had to learn the hard way. And I had to get burned really, really bad to realize that, fuck, everything that we've been told from society, everything we've been told from school has been a lie. Even in the military has been a lie. You know, mainstream media has lied to many, many men, including myself. And to you watching this video, you've been lied to. Like at one point, you guys probably believed that, fuck, you know, I'm gonna watch these Hollywood movies. I'm gonna listen to my parents. I'm gonna listen to my friends. I'm gonna listen to my teachers, the people I'm told to trust, these figures of authority to trust. And you do exactly what they say and you don't get the right results. You're not happy. You're not making the money you should be making. You're not getting the girls that you should be dating. Right? I was told to be a nice guy, but then when I was a nice guy and I was doing everything for this girl, bending over backwards, she ran off to another dude who's treating her like shit. So immediately I'm like, okay, we're told from society since day one, don't listen to your own eyes. Don't listen to your own ears. Don't listen to your own experiences. Listen to what society says and listen to what we say. Okay, cool. But yeah, listen to what we say. And it doesn't work. That's the biggest thing. And, you know, I started posting content about this stuff actually before I joined the military. I started making videos online. I have billions of views online. I had 200,000 followers on TikTok talking about all the things that we're going to talk about in this video, as well as what I just mentioned about my hardships and teaching guys how to get good with girls.
I want to add something too, just so you guys know. So I thought that you had like signed up for somebody's course and made your own brand and stuff. I didn't know that you had started making your own brand from your own, just like, you know, just your own idea from a young age, right? Talk about that. What was the name of the podcast?
So the podcast was Alpha's Only Club. Yeah. Oh, cool.
I'll hold it up here.
Hold it up here, cool.
Just get it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So the podcast is Alpha's Only Club, basically talking about how to become the top 3% of men. You know, one of the guys that really did inspire me, though, his name was Coach Corey Wayne. And he was one of my mentors, and I read his book, helped me out a lot. But there's still a lot of things that were still missing from that piece of work. And there's a lot of things missing from a lot of people's pieces of work. And so I actually had to just experience life, learn how to throw events myself. If you guys go to my Instagram, I've thrown events with my last birthday party this month. I had 40 chicks with me at my birthday party. So, you know, these are things that, you know, Dan Blazarian is able to set up, but he doesn't really teach it. And so I actually had to learn how to throw events, how to actually throw parties, how to, you know, leverage social media. I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, but I know a lot of guys who have millions of followers on Instagram. They don't know how to leverage social media to get girls. So I had to learn how to do all of these things myself, and no one's really teaching these things because these are very, very powerful things, right? All the good information, not everyone likes to share. So these are all things I had to learn the hard way, and that's why I'm here to share with you guys. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. I've been able to accomplish a lot by the age of 22, Marine Corps veteran. I've been able to make what most guys strive to make in a year, which is like 6 figures goal. I was able to do that in a day. And I have multiple girlfriends who I'm currently dating and I'm with that have my name tatted on them, and they do whatever I want. So I've been able to accomplish a lot by the age of 22, and that's why a lot of older guys come to me for advice as well.
So let's talk about that. So let's talk about the girlfriend dynamics. So can you tell us about that exactly? Yeah. Because you're Asian too. You're white and Asian. So I've noticed there's only like 2 breeds of Asians. There's like the hyper confident super Chad versions of you, and then there's like the self-hating, why am I half Asian? Why am I half white? Like beta male type. Can you break that down for me?
Yeah, the culture is interesting with Asian guys. So I grew up the mixed Asian. The mixed Asian. Well, even just Asians overall, the culture has been weakened very, very hard. I think even in Japan you saw that, right? The men are very emasculated. And we could go into that whole why that is reason, but that's just the truth, right? And the truth is, a lot of guys are, especially who are Asian, are not perceived in movies or Hollywood to be good with girls. They're always perceived as the doctor or the nerd or whatever. And even throughout life, you're told as an Asian to get good grades and focus on school and become a doctor. And it's a joke, it's a stereotype, but it's true, right? That's literally what most people are told. And so I grew up in a high school with 97% Asians, and I stood out for sure. I think that's part of the reason why I was good with girls in high school, is because I stood out. Meanwhile, all the guys were focused on getting good grades. I sucked in school. I had D's, I had F's. I was horrible. But the only thing that I was good at in high school was wrestling. That was the only thing I gave a fuck about. That was the only reason why I even tried to get good grades, is so I could stay in wrestling. That was my passion. That was something I was interested in. Looking back, if I really gave a fuck about school, could I have gotten good grades? Yeah, of course. But I was more interested in starting business. I had a clothing brand at the time. I was interested in wrestling. I was interested in talking to girls, right? So I had different interests and passions. And that's why I was more successful at those things. Yeah.
It's good stuff. You started your podcast, Alphas Only. How old were you?
I was 17 at the time when I started that podcast. And
just talk about that.
Yeah, so I started the podcast. Actually, the first podcast episode was basically talking about my heartbreaks and what I learned and why it's important to stay away from girls who belong to the streets. And so on that podcast episode, it was basically just sharing, hey, here's what I learned the hard way from dating a girl who had daddy issues, who was very, very insecure. She belongs to the streets. All these things, who had social media as well, who had a bunch of guy friends. And so I made a warning other men, because that was something that I did not know. No one ever told me this. And so I created the podcast. It went super, super mega viral throughout high school. Everyone was loving it, actually. All the guys were loving it. They're all coming up to me, dude, I love the podcast that you made, whatever. And then one day, it all changes. Everyone's opinion about me changes is when I got canceled, okay? I got mega canceled in high school, up to the point where social media accounts deleted, banned, okay? False accusations were made about me. I almost got kicked out of high school. They wouldn't let me graduate, and I was a senior in high school. They weren't about to let me graduate. I got kicked out of the military originally for being in the DEPS program, and I had cops coming to my house. My parents were getting basically investigated by their own jobs, because people were trying to cancel my parents as well. So, and that's all because I was speaking the truth about men and women. Yeah. That's it. I was talking about basic biological things like that people were getting upset about, because so many people are soft and weak, and that's what happened.
Do you see this guy? Is this one of your guys? The Oswald says, did he just say his name is tattooed on a girl? So I think it's funny that he says this, and then he says, miscegnation is a true crime against the ancestors. You know what that means?
Nope.
When you're a white person and you mix race with somebody that's not white.
I mean, my girls are Asian too. I have a few Asian girls. So here's the thing,
I just
Oswald.
think it's funny that initially he's like, did he just say his name is tattooed on the girl's jealousy, and then comes the hater comment. So we must be doing really good. Okay, he's half white mixed. So what are we supposed to do? We're banned from white women? Like, according to your ideology there, Oswald, what are we supposed to do? We should not procreate. Should we? Are we? So we can no longer touch white women. So anything that's non-white, like where in your race?
So what if only 1 out of the 100 girls I'm fucking is white? That only makes me 1% bad.
I'm just trying to figure out in your ideology in your system, how does that actually work out? Give me a second here because I'm gonna let him respond, but I'm trying to put this mic here. Let me know if this is you guys can hear. Give me 2 seconds.
No, these are good comments.
Yeah. So how does this work, guys? This is better. Is this okay for you guys if we just both talk here? Go say something, Logan.
Test.
Let us know if this is good enough because instead of we're not having to like sit here and hold it. But I would like to know what are we supposed to do according to your handbook. W? Better?
Oh,
Okay.
better?
Okay, cool. That's good.
So can I just click on a comment?
Yeah, you can click it and it'll pull up. But
Okay,
I want. So she wants to know CA. She wants to know what kind of Asian. Logan is Vietnamese.
Yeah, half Vietnamese, half white. My dad is Vietnamese, which is actually pretty rare for a Vietnamese guy to pull white girl. Usually it's the other way around. Usually
Bag white girl.
Yeah, usually it's the white guys pulling the Asians.
So what do you say to people? I have some questions for you. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask why did you join the army?
Real quick though.
Okay, cool.
I want to tie something in because
Sure.
you know I have seen the girls you have pulled. You have pulled some seriously hot girls. He has hooked up with girls have like gigantic followings, OnlyFans, Twitch streamers, like the very long list.
Hypothetically, of course.
Theoretically,
Theoretically,
in
yeah.
the Matrix.
Yeah.
But people typically say, "Oh, well, I'm not 6 foot tall. I'm not white. I'm Asian. I'm 22. I'm young. I bring no value to the table." All those things people like use as massive cope. Why didn't you decide? Oh, well, I'm not white. Oh, I'm not 6 foot tall. Oh, I'm not Asian fully. I'm not white fully. Like, why did you just say fuck it? Let's ball.
Yeah, because I always learn, even from wrestling, is the power of your belief. Every single time that I gave a fuck about my height, because I'm 5'7", or 5'8", depends if I have shoes or not. Depends on the day. But basically, whenever I cared about my height, the girls would also care about my height. The girls would also notice it. I was like, okay, interesting. When I was insecure about something, everyone else started to make it a big deal. Okay. And even wrestling, when I was wrestling, and I knew right before the match I was going to win, I won every single time. Every single time. When I knew, I looked at the guy, I was going to win, I won. But every single time I had some fear or I had some doubt, that is the 100% of the time I lost. And I started to put 2 and 2 together. I'm okay, well, if it's applying to wrestling and it's also applying to business, right, and my confidence in business, and it's also applying to women, your mindset must also apply to everything. And it's so true. After the years of applying my mindset to everything, the reason why I've been able to become successful is because of my mindset and my confidence. And I've looked at guys who are 6 foot tall, who have a bunch of money, who are really good fucking looking, and they could be a fucking supermodel as a dude, no homo. But they have no confidence. And when a guy has no confidence, all those things get thrown out the window, no matter how tall he is, no matter how attractive he is, no matter how much money he has, what car he drives, whatever, that gets thrown out the fucking window. And I see guys and I coach guys who are multimillionaires, who are super famous, Hollywood celebrities or influencers, who literally get fucking burned by girls, no matter how much clout and sass they have, and all these things, because they are insecure and they lack confidence.
Yeah, we talked about that this weekend because we went to a content creator event this weekend called Creator Hub Live. Honestly, day 3 really rounded it home for me. That was really legit. We met some really high level guys, dudes there that are making like $100,000, $200,000, $1 million a month, and we met some really cool people, right? But at the same time, we could tell like which guys kind of had no game, which is like a large majority, and which guys did, which is like a very, very small percentage of the people. And what's more importantly funny was how the girls could just tell.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You
Yeah,
know?
100%. Yeah.
And we weren't even we were just like not even trying to like talk to chicks and not trying to like be cool, but like naturally, you know, Logan has a credible aura, and naturally he's just, you know, drawing in girls. They were just naturally coming and talking to us, and despite us not making the most money there or having the most clout there, because guys think money and clout is everything, but at the end of the day, no, it's not. No. It's does a woman feel safe with you? Does she feel safe with your frame?
Yeah.
If you have no frame, you're cooked. You're never going to be able to keep a girl around if you don't have frame. And I think that's one thing that you really specialize in. Tell me about this. So, what about the whole 3-girlfriend thing? So, can you tell me how does that dynamic work for you? Like,
Yeah, so I mean, I've been dating one of the girls for a good bit. She's probably watching this live stream right now. But
give her the Asian wave.
Asian wave. Dating for a good bit. You know, super loyal to me.
She's very beautiful. Yeah. That's a very beautiful girl.
Yeah, I think she's pretty cute. And obviously, I wouldn't be talking to a girl unless she was cute. So, but yeah, she listens to me. And obviously, she helps me bring over other girls. So that's kind of a good something I teach in my courses. In that one course that got banned when I was telling you earlier, I had a course.
What was the name of that course
again? The course was called Manipulation Mastery.
Manipulation Mastery? I wonder why it got banned.
I wonder why. But basically, I was teaching guys how to do exactly what I was doing, where basically having one girl that's head over heels in love with you, bring you over other girls. Teaching guys how to leverage your girlfriend, because my girlfriend has dating apps. She's on Bumble, she's on Tinder. Not for dudes though, but for other girls to bring over to me. So that's kind of how I've leveraged my girlfriend. You know, and if you guys understand frame and you guys understand women to a very, very high level, it's very, very easy. I mean, John does it as well with his girlfriend. It's inevitable. Like once you know how it works, you understand women, you can get them to basically do anything you want, good or bad. And now, you know, there's been an extreme of it where it's like Tate putting his girls on OnlyFans and shit like that. There's the extreme, right? You can do it very, very negatively, or
disavow. The Modern Life dating channel disavows.
Right. Or you can get her to do everything for you. And if you are a man on a mission who's here to save the world, that's what I believe. I'm here to save the fucking world. I'm here with Johnathan to inspire men to become the best version of themselves. And if I have a girlfriend who's on that mission and purpose, helping me out, you know, who's making my life easier, you know, not creating any drama, then I'm able to accomplish more in life. And so it works both ways, depending on who you are as a man. Manipulation can work good or bad. If you look at the definition of manipulation, it's nothing negative. It's the fact that you can control people to do something good or bad, depending on who you are and your beliefs.
All communication is a form of manipulation, too.
Yes.
But going back to that, so you have your main girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then how did the other two, you know, fit into the equation?
Yeah, so like one is we don't, you know, it's not like I don't take any serious at all. It's not like I see her very, very often. You know, I have hoes. Like I think there's different categories. Like there's wifeys. Wifeys are the ones I feel like that are, you know, they don't have any social media, right? They don't have any guy friends. You actually can trust them. They're super loyal to you. They do whatever you want. Those are the wifeys, okay? Yeah. So I got one main wifey, okay? And then she helps me bring over either other hoes or girlfriends. So the girlfriends, in my opinion, are the ones that, you know, you see pretty often. You hang out with, but you don't really take them seriously. You're not really paying for any of their stuff. You know, you're not buying them food, right? Oh yeah, I pay for my girls' food all the time whenever we're out.
That's fine, but how do you feel about, because this is a big thing. This is like a, you know, I think the biggest simps in America, where do you think the biggest simps in America are located?
Well, the definition of simping is basically you're giving up more than what you're receiving in return. So if I buy a girl flowers versus if a normal average guy buys a girl flowers, you know, I'm getting more for my ROI of that flower, because I'm getting a girl who does everything for me, was willing to die for me. Meanwhile, this guy is getting a girl who's going to seminars flirting other dudes.
Oh,
Hint,
don't say
hint.
that shit.
But basically, you know, that's the thing though. You get more for an ROI, right? Is there's gonna be some guys who are buying girls flowers, buying girls chocolates, and they're getting a very bad return on that investment. And so it doesn't actually matter, you know, what you're doing. It matters what you're getting in return. And so that's what I want to show guys, that you get more for what you're doing.
But where in America do you think the biggest simps live?
In America, it's hard.
What
There's simps everywhere, bro. Even in the most highest population cities.
But if you had to pinpoint it, I'm going to give you my opinion.
Yeah, you give me yours.
Where do you think?
Dude, I can't say. I literally don't know. Don't know that one.
Really?
No. I see simps everywhere.
I think it's in Miami.
Okay, interesting.
Because Miami is the capital of guys leading with their wallet. Because I don't know how it is in LA, because I know you're north of LA, right?
I am in Orange County, which is right underneath LA.
South of LA.
Yeah.
See, I don't know fucking anything about California. I really don't like the place personally. I don't want to go there.
Well, you got to go to Orange County. It's different. It's a way different vibe. Way
so
more
I hear,
conservative.
so I hear.
Way more conservative. It's nice.
So I hear.
Way more rich.
But yeah, in Miami though, guys are like paying for girls' rents, paying for their electricity, paying for some kind of support for these girls, which is just the worst, most simpiest activity ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Period.
If the girl is hooking up with other dudes, she saw social media, like someone in the comments was saying, like, you know, someone's wife is sleeping with some other dude. Yeah, like that's cuck shit, bro. Like, if you're buying a girl shit, and you're talking to a girl and you're buying her shit and she's talking to other dudes, even if she has social media, I still think that's cheating. If a girl has social media, and I say social media because it basically immediately is like, oh fuck, if a girl has social media. But here's the thing, if a girl has social media, what is she doing? She's advertising herself to other men.
Yeah.
That's it. Because when girls say, oh, I post pictures for my girlfriends, that's cap. That's all bullshit. Because if they really gave a fuck about what their girlfriends thought about them, they would create a group chat with their girlfriends and put their girlfriends in group chat and then send photos of themselves to the group chat and ask for the girl's opinion. They don't do that, though. They post a picture for everybody to see, and then they play it off like, oh, it's for my girlfriends while I'm posting bikini pictures. No, the fuck you're not. You're posting it for dudes and their attention and their validation.
Yep. They're really, if she doesn't have a business, I think
Yeah.
people, like girls who use Instagram as a hobby, I think personally to lose their hobby, because you're not really making money, you're damaging your mental health, and you're opening, like, you have an open door to anybody to holler at you. You know what I mean? Indiscriminately. Versus if you don't have an Instagram, like guys just can't send you a DM. Like they would have to cold approach you, have to walk up to you and talk to you. I just don't understand the purpose of using social media other than like actively using it to source data and to actually network with people. Other than that, like, yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason at all. Zero reason at all. And then obviously we know girls that pretend like they have a business but it's still used for guys.
Yeah.
So even then it's just like overall I wouldn't even want a girlfriend like that at all. It's just one of my standards, one of my boundaries, because I learned that the hard way, and most of you guys have probably seen the hard way too, is like, you know, every single time I got an argument with this girl, what would she do? She'd go on social media, start posting about it, start posting quotes or tweets or pictures of herself, whatever. And so if you're smart and you understand what is going to be the best for me and my longevity and basically the longevity of the relationship, it's not going to be having other guys in the relationship. How does that benefit the relationship? It's not going to be her having a bunch of hoe friends. How does that benefit the relationship? It's not going to be her having social media. How does that benefit the relationship? If she can answer that clearly, or if any of you guys can answer that clearly of how social media benefits your guys' relationship and makes you guys love each other more, then please tell me, because I cannot find a reason. And if I cannot find a reason for something, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's true. And if she doesn't want to give up her social media, it cracks me up how these girls are just striving to be famous on social media. And the reality is, like, you're better off just learning a proper skill to make money and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, or actually just fucking putting yourself in the right spaces, not being a hoe. Like that one girl we actually met a good quality virgin girl that is hitting on Johnathan. She likes him. And, you know, she's put herself into a place where she could meet a high value dude like him. That's it. She's fucking smart enough to do that, but not by being a hoe though. She's not going out to the clubs. She's not going out and flirting with a bunch of dudes. She's just existing, but puts herself in the right spaces. And it's not by putting herself on social media, you know. So yeah, there are ways for girls to be successful in life. And also, I'm curious to talk about that. One of the things is basically who has it harder in dating, men or women. And
We'll jump into that because I
Yeah.
want to start adding a little bit more of bullet points about you, because I think I want more and more guys to see that you're a young man, you're in America, you're not 6 foot tall Giga Chad, you're not fucking, Mr. High school football Chad.
Nope.
But you're still having so much success in life. You have so much people following you on social media. You're making a lot of money, and you're only 22. And you've done so much. So you started Alpha's Only podcast. You were wrestling in high school. We're both wrestlers here. I really like that about you.
Yep.
He is certified Chad energy, good guy, hyper socially aware, very independent, but also phenomenal team player. And he just got out of the military. You successfully completed your contract. You weren't dishonorably discharged or medically discharged. You did it the right way.
Yeah.
Now you're free. And you told me you're ready to hit the international streets now. Like, what's next for Logan now?
So I'll be
right back. I'm gonna grab
No,
something.
you're
Go
good.
ahead.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, well, how did you do all this by the age of 22? I don't believe this kid, or I there's no way that he did all this, and it was all actually accidental. Seriously, it was all accidental. And part of the reason why I was on social media and talking about these things, and I started the podcast, is actually because I had a clothing brand at the time. The clothing brand was called Unbounded. A lot of people in my high school know about it. A lot of people were repping the merch, whatever. But there was a video that went viral from my buddy, one of my business partners. And the video went viral. It was me walking up to a girl and making out with her within 15 seconds. If you guys go to my social medias, you guys can see that video. And the purpose of that video wasn't to flex about the girl or anything. It was actually just to promote the clothing brand. And the tagline on the YouTube video, or basically the TikTok video, was Unbounded Pulls Bitches. And we were expecting this clothing brand to blow up now. Oh, fuck yeah, it's going to get a bunch of people. It's going viral. The video went super, super viral. Millions and millions of views. But the main thing is people weren't interested in the clothing. They were actually interested in how I was able to pull that off at 17 years old, being short as fuck, because the girl in the video is taller than me. And a lot of people were curious, and then that's how that journey started, me answering everyone's questions and helping people out, because I am passionate about helping people out. That's why I believe I'm here, to speak about my hardships, my experiences, and also guide men down the path of not having to waste as much time and energy and heartbreak that I did. And so, and I find other people on the similar path as me, such as Johnathan, who are doing the same thing, helping people, save their time, money, energy, because the most valuable thing you have on earth is your time, bro. You can't get that back. You could simp for a girl, you could spend money on her. But the worst thing, the most simp thing, is spending your time on a girl who's not deserving of your time. We can all talk about the money, but money is not even fucking real. So what is real is your time. It is worse for you to spend hours of your time talking to a girl who is not interested in you or doesn't truly love you than you to spend a bunch of money on her. Now, I'm saying both are simping. I agree, both are simping. What I'm saying is what is worse. And what is worse is your time. And a lot of you guys here might not have a bunch of money, but you have a lot of time. And time is something you can never get back. So that is the main thing that I'm here to show you guys, is how to leverage your time to not only make more money, become famous on social media if you want to, and get a bunch of girls who like you, which I can guarantee if you're a straight man who has testosterone, you're going to want multiple women who are interested in you. So that's that.
I think it's super important right now that guys understand the fundamentals of leadership, because if you don't have frame, you don't have the ability to lead yourself. If you don't have the ability to lead yourself, you're not going to be able to give the women the number one thing they want to feel, which is safety in a relationship. Because you can't lead her and guide her, she's going to not feel safe and strong with you, and she's going to want to peace out and leave.
So I think there's two things in leadership, and this is what I learned from the military, also outside of the military. Military doesn't teach you genuine leadership. The military teaches you position leadership. And what that means is they put you into a position where you have to lead other people. But real leadership is when other people choose you to lead them naturally. That's a very, very powerful thing. Because if we were to go to war, everything's going to flip-flop. Doesn't matter who the highest ranking general is, whatever the fuck. If something's a stupid plan and you have at least some sort of IQ and you're in the military, you're probably not going to do that. Is it against the rules? Sure. But if you have some sort of IQ, you're not going to listen to some retard. You're going to follow who's the strongest fitting person. And this is exactly how the real world works. So the military teaches you how to be a leader in a position that they put you in. Yeah. The real world, women, and life, if you want to be a leader, you have to be, not only you have to have the strongest frame and the most self-belief in yourself, but you also have to know what you're doing is right. That's the biggest thing that most people have an issue with or a problem with. I remember one time in science class when I was in high school, they were teaching about, there were some girls that walked into my science class teaching about how there's multiple genders. Oh, there's more than 2 genders. Oh, there's all this other bullshit. And every single kid in the class were just nodding their head. Yes, yes. I listen to figures of authority for no reason because these girls walked into my class and I need to listen to them now. And I was the only person to raise my hand and say, no, there's only 2 genders. And everyone turned around and looked at me like, oh my God.
Really?
You're
How old
crazy.
were you?
I was like 16 or 15 at the time.
Good for you.
And I was like, there's only 2 genders. I don't know what the fuck you guys...
That gay shit.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. There's only 2 genders. And bro, they got pissed. The teacher got pissed. Oh, you know, you're supposed to respect these people. They didn't attack my argument. They attacked me. And that's how you know you're doing something right. When they don't attack your argument, they attack you as a person. That's how you know you're doing something right. Oh, you're being arrogant. Why are you not listening to them? You're not being respectful, right? I said because there's only 2 genders. Raise your hand if you're not a male or a female in this class. I don't see any hands raised. And then another guy rose his hand and he said, you know what? That's actually true. I don't believe there's more than 2 genders either. And then that's when other people started to wake up. And so a leader, the definition of the word lead means to go first, right? And a leader cannot be a follower. And I read a book from my dad. He gave me, don't be a follower, be a leader, right? And part of that is sometimes having to go off the path that everyone else is on. And you create your own path. And what I did in that moment was I inspired other people to think, to question what they're being told, right? And so in that moment, I was a leader, right? I was leading other people to think and to question what the fuck we're being talked about in class, because this is bullshit. And so from a very early time, you know, I guess my dad and all the things that he taught me was to listen to your gut, trust your gut, and to follow yourself. The reason why so many guys get into bad relationships and why they stay with the girl is because they're no longer following their gut. They follow what she says. They follow what society says. They follow what their friends say. And they say, no, I don't believe she's doing anything wrong. Stay with her. She's doing everything good. You know, she's a good girl, whatever. But your gut's telling you, man, I just don't like the fact that she's talking to other dudes. I just don't like the fact that she's on social media. And the second you follow everyone else, you become a follower. You have to follow your gut. You have to be a leader.
I always talk about that because I say, like, you know, they have to, that what you refer to as a gut, I'd say like your frame.
Yeah.
Like
right,
if you instinctively feel that you're not okay with your girlfriend doing something, like if she's always posting herself like in very tight gym clothing and posting saying like, oh, this is my workout transformation thing, like, lady, shut up. You have 2,000 followers max. Like, everybody's looking at you not because they're proud of you. They're looking at you because they want to have sex with you. They're looking at a perverted way. That's why you're getting literally 85% of your views as a woman, if not 90. Okay. And because this is what happens, guys think, okay, I want to keep the girl because they have a scarcity mindset thinking I can't get another girl. So let me sacrifice a part of my identity, a part of my frame, a part of my gut, as Logan was saying, in order to keep her. But the more you concede to her demands, the less attractive you are. And the more you consistently say, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. She's going to think you have no backbone, and she's not going to feel safe because she's going to think, what if somebody else comes and bosses this guy around that's like more of like a psychological manipulator than me? Because that's what they're singing. That's what they think is women. Like, they think if I can control this guy, some other girl can control him. And I don't like that. You know, she wants to be with a guy who can control himself, who's on his own purpose, in his own frame, self-regulating, and then she knows the rules of his game, and then she feels safe submitting to him and submitting to the rules of his game. Yeah. And girls who don't do that, they're just going to be hoes forever. Yeah. So it's up to you, a lot of you guys who make mistakes, you give long-term good girl treatment, buying a girl flowers, being sweet to her, being nice to her. You give that to hoes. Yep. And then you get a hoe treating you improperly because, you know, hoes don't deserve shit like that. They actually, they resent, they hate them. They don't like the fact that you're treating them so nice. And so she's going to punish you by going with a toxic dude. And you guys got to understand how you can identify short-term girl versus long-term girl. You do not give short-term girl benefits to the long-term girl, and you don't give long-term benefits to the short-term girl. You have to pay everybody according to their pay grade. And that's where we are right now, because that's why guys are simping, because they're so desperate for girls that they're like, oh, I'll just do anything to keep this girl, not understanding the big picture of game and frame, you know, for the long run.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, this is something that I had to learn the hard way, which was basically...
Let's go to number 3. It says we're going to go through some... Oh, you want to do some of these?
No, we go through this one, yeah.
Yeah, because you said you had to learn the hard way. So what struggles did you personally go through with women before you figured this part out and the deeper intricacies of your understanding of dating now?
Yeah, a big part of me having to realize this the hard way, and I learned this very well when I got canceled. So when I got canceled, most of the girls who tried to cancel me were girls that I was actually sleeping with, girls that I've already slept with in the past, or girls that wanted to get with me, but I curved them. And so it was very, very interesting because it was a bunch of, yeah, that was a good one. But because it was a bunch, and when I was getting canceled, it was a bunch of feminists, and it was also a bunch of male simps who were trying to cancel me, who were trying to basically get these females' attention. And what I realized is it doesn't matter how much you do for these girls, because these guys will basically be told by these women, yeah, cancel Logan, he's bad. And so all these guys would be like, okay, I don't want to hang out with Logan. And they're doing this because they are weak. They're doing this because although they actually agree with me in the past, a lot of guys who actually agree with me in my videos and my podcast switched up on me when I got canceled because they were weak and they were followers. And they actually ended up following a lot of what the women were saying to do, which was cancel Logan, talk shit on Logan, whatever. And even though they knew I was right, in their gut, they decided to listen to the women around them. And here's the best part. They weren't getting laid by any of those girls trying to cancel me. And I have videos, and I have a whole entire, proof that one of the girls who tried to cancel me actually ended up sleeping with me and one of my girls. We had a threesome. One of the girls who literally canceled me on social media, one of the biggest girls who were trying to cancel me, ended up in my bed a few months later, right? And so that tells you something. What does that tell you, though? It tells you what women say, what women do are different. Two different things, and they mean different things. Women will say, I'm an asshole. Women will say, oh, cancel this guy. Women will say, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Other guys don't listen to him, whatever. But if they're sleeping with me, what does that tell you? Right? That's just reality. And vice versa.
That's the ultimate stamp of approval from a woman.
Exactly. Vice versa. If a girl is telling these guys, oh, you're doing everything right. Oh, yeah, I love how you're a male feminist. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love how you're doing everything I say. Oh, I love you so much. But they're not having sex with you. What does it matter? Because a woman's ultimate, basically gift that they can give, or the things that women value most, is their sex. And they only give it away to those who are deserving of it. Girls can give away their attention. Girls can give away their time. Girls can post pictures of themselves and they get millions of eyeballs. They give away all that for free. But who they have sex with is the true determining factor of who they actually give a fuck about. Mm-hmm. Okay? So this is a huge thing. But someone says, it reminds me of those fake feminist men who snake their way into being around girls. 100%. But all these girls think they're weirdos secretly. All these girls know, right? These girls use these guys for their money and buying them lunch and shit, but they don't have sex with them.
Let's tag it into some other things, okay?
Sure.
So, I know the answer because I was alive and you were not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how do you think dating in 2025 is different from when guys like me were coming up? How do you think it's different now?
I think dating has gone harder for guys because there's just more and more guys who are on social media, and more influencers, and more of society is being brainwashed to basically give a fuck about these things. And I have clout, and I know it doesn't even fucking matter. I have hundreds of thousands of followers. I have billions of views to my face and my name. None of that fucking matters. None of it matters. But women and men have been programmed to believe, but mostly women have been programmed to believe that these things matter, and they need to look for guys who have these things. And what ends up happening is girls are looking for these guys, girls are interested in these guys, and then they get with these guys and they realize, oh, these guys are fucking losers. These guys actually have nothing else besides a bunch of followers and fame and clout. And so that's why you have to have more to yourself besides just a bunch of followers and fame and clout and all this other bullshit. And status, basically. Status alone is not what's gonna get a girl to fall in love with you and get her to be completely doing head over heels in love with you things. What does is your frame and who you are as a man. That's it. And so a lot of women, I feel like, have been brainwashed into falling for these things that are not even real. And men have been brainwashed to fall another thing: chase money. Chase things that are not real either. Money is not real. It is a tool, though. It doesn't mean you shouldn't work for it and make it, okay? But you cannot work a 9 to 5 your entire fucking life and slave yourself to those a few dollar bills an hour. You got to figure out a way to be smart enough to generate more money than that. And so we've been lied to in society. All of us have, and that's why knowledge is power. The second we realize and we learn these things, women can't control us. Once you learn these things, women cannot control you. That's why they hate guys like me and Johnathan, because we are waking men up. When men cannot be controlled, no more money for OnlyFans, no more money for simping, no more rent being paid. Trust me, women hate us, but they secretly reward us. That's the truth.
Because they know they can't beat us, you know?
Yeah.
So you would say the number one thing how it's different is social media. Social media, right?
Yeah, it got bigger, I feel like, from when we were.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll tell you, in my opinion, the biggest thing, this is a little bit more deep, but I believe the number one thing that screwed up the balance of the Force. Have you seen Star Wars?
No.
No? So what screwed up the whole balance of the dating ecosystem in America is the North American fat woman. That is the number one problem. The North American maximum weight Karen has screwed it up for everybody, because in America, and only in America, are 71% of the female population overweight and or obese. This is the largest group of fat women on the planet, and they're here in America. And how that screws everything up is now the girl who's just not fat, who maybe have like a very busted face, right? But the fact that she's not fat automatically, artificially inflates her value from a level 5 hotness, which is average, to now she's a level 6 because she's no longer a gigantic North American fat woman. That right there screws up the balance, and it's a supply and demand problem, because now you have 29% of the female population that is not overweight or obese, and guess what? 100% of the males want access to that 29%. So now you have a market in America where the women that are skinny have so much power. And if you can't really push their buttons, know what makes it tick, understanding game, understanding frame, understanding leadership, you're gonna have a hard time. So you absolutely need game nowadays. Like back in my day, like everybody could just kind of get a girlfriend just by like talking to girls and, you know, just chatting, having a good time, whatever. Now you actually need to understand, like, okay, is this girl a whore? Does this girl have a secret OnlyFans? Did this girl like fucking have a body count of like 200 by the time she was done with college? Because that's very common right now. So there's so much worse. The quality of women is lower, and then the skill set you need to get them, unfortunately, has become higher. But that's just where we're at right now. You know,
Yeah.
That's just where we're at.
A lot of people are like, oh, what did
Do you think I'm wrong?
No, you're 100% right. Like 100% right.
Argue with me, fight me.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the whole thumbnail, like young versus old school game. But no, I mean it's true. But that's also just a cause from feminism. It's just part of the results of feminism. Honestly, it's just feminism telling women to be fat, to take a bunch of antidepressants, to drink alcohol, and to hate all men. And then same thing with men is hey, be emotional, listen to your feelings. Basically listen to these women who are basically fucking retards in today's society. And so if you're following a woman and a woman is following that bullshit, you are beneath her. Yeah. That is the reality. Okay? And that's just actually how women view you as well. When you follow women, they don't view you as an equal. They view you below them, bro. Yes. Like it's and they do it way worse than if a guy, when I listen to other guys, they don't put you beneath them. If you guys are listening to us, we're not putting you guys beneath us, and we're actually trying to build you guys up to our level. It's the opposite with women, bro. Women give a fuck about survival to another level, and I'm telling you this because when you are following a woman, she immediately puts you beneath her to a fan status, and she will treat you worse than a fan. Like, it's really, really bad. And so women do this, though, for survival, okay? Because they want the best. They want the best mate. They want the best partner. And they do it for who is the strongest. And if you are following her, and she knows subconsciously she's not that strong, because women know they're not strong, and you are following her, trust me, you are definitely a weak man. And she knows it.
Let's go to we have a couple different ones. So
yeah.
Now, obviously, I'm the old school, you're the young blood, you're the new school. What advice do you think is outdated now?
Well, in some books, it's like emailing bitches, paging bitches. That's like, so, that clearly, obviously. But I think that the fact that you can basically trust your girl to be in these environments and areas, like, I think maybe when your girl's on social media and working a job, back in the day, wouldn't have been as bad as it is now. Now there's just so many extra influences. I mean, even back then, it was kind of like, well, you could let your girl hang out with her friends because none of her friends were hoes. No girls were hoes at the time. But now it's like, well, the game is different now. You can't let your girl hang out with her friends if they are hoes. You can't let your girl hang out with her friends because most girls are hoes. That's just the reality. I truly believe that most girls are brainwashed. And so the game has actually gone to the point where the pendulum has swung from you could just be living in America, working 9 to 5, and there would be a girl who'd love you, you have kids, and you guys live happy ever after. But that's not how it works anymore. The pendulum has swung to where you have to have extreme frame. You have to get rid of any bullshit that comes into your guys' relationship or is trying to brainwash the relationship. You have to become so self-reliant that you don't rely on the government for money. You don't rely on your 9 to 5 for money. You don't rely on any of these things. And so you have to become super self-reliant nowadays, and you have to learn game on an extreme level. I think you were able to get away with like learning basic pickup tricks. And the issue with that is now is like, yeah, you can learn how to pick up girls now, but I believe what's best is learning not only how to pick up girls, but also bring them throughout this funnel of devotion for you and how to get these girls to be head over heels in love with you so you could continue on your purpose.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. Let's tie that into, I'll say some advice that I think is outdated now. So I would say back in the day, if you genuinely liked a girl, and you could do it today, but the average guy doesn't have the right eyes to see which girl he could do this for. But I do think, like, when I was younger, you could bring a girl flowers and she wouldn't be like, this guy's a faggot.
Yeah, she wouldn't consider you a simp, because nowadays it's like girls are getting sent OnlyFans money and Venmo money straight to their account. Mm-hmm. Girls don't give a fuck about flowers anymore. It's gotten so extreme to the point of if you do nothing with a girl, now you stand out. If you ignore a girl for a few hours, which we've seen, now they give a fuck, even if they have a boyfriend. Okay, so here's the thing. Is it's gotten so extreme now that you also have to be extreme or extreme. I don't believe I'm extreme, but to the average man, I'm pretty fucking extreme. Yeah. So to average people, I come off as extreme, but to guys who understand the game, they're like, yeah, that's what works. You have to do that.
When some girls, like how I test girls nowadays, when they ask me in America, like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm an online misogynist. Yeah. Just tell them straight, I'm an online misogynist. Yeah. And I'm a cult leader. How do you feel about that? Because they're so, women in America Men have become so predictable, so
So
simpy,
boring, bro.
so
Boring.
boring. Exactly. So predictable, so simpy, so boring that every response that you're about to give, as soon as she's like, okay, he's going down the script, he's going down the simp script, he's saying the simp script. Okay, yes, I'm beautiful. Yes, I get it. Yeah, I'm amazing. Yeah, I'm this. Yeah, I'm that. And the reality is like that's just the number one way to not stand out and have her think, okay, you're just like everybody else, and you got to stand out.
Yeah. Can we answer some of these questions?
Yeah.
I want to engage with you guys because we are on a live stream. So,
Click on it and pull it up.
yeah, let's do it. You don't seem like a guy who's ever plugged in. How were you lied to, and what did you believe, bro? It might not seem like it now because I'm so extreme, but I was plugged in really bad. I believed in all those lies. I was lied to even by my parents. But were they lying to me, or is it because they didn't know any better? They just didn't know any better. When I had girl problems and when a girl wasn't responding to my text or something, I'd come to my parents like, yo, what the fuck do I do? Oh, just keep texting her. Oh, just keep calling her. Oh, she's probably busy right now. No, she just wasn't interested in you. Will your parents tell you straight up? No. Is your friends going to tell you straight up? No. Is the girls you ask for advice? This is why you don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. This is why you never ask women how do you get girls. Because if you ask a girl, hey, why isn't this girl doing X, Y, and Z? This is a girl I've been dating for a while. Why is she not texting me? Is any girl going to tell you, oh, because she doesn't fucking like you? No, because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. But that's the truth. If a girl likes you, I don't give a fuck about how busy she is. I don't care what she's doing. She's going to find a way to text you and talk to you. It doesn't matter. That's the reality. And any guy who's experienced genuine desire from a girl, you guys all understand this. A girl will drive hours to see you if she likes you. A girl will do anything for you if she likes you. She will cut off all of her friends if she likes you. So that's something I didn't understand. I was lied to. I was lied to very, very hard many, many times. When girls were talking to other dudes behind my back, when girls were, basically telling me, oh, I love you, oh, I like you so much, but they were, all their actions said the opposite. I was lied to a lot, even about politics, even about the military. I was told like, hey, I joined the military, I'm gonna learn all these great skills, and I'm gonna be around a bunch of high value alpha males. It's not true. Oh, you're gonna learn leadership. Not true. In the military, they teach you how to be a follower. They teach you how to be like everybody else. And they teach you how to kiss ass and to basically kiss up to rank up, which is what it is. That's the game. That's the game. And they tell you, oh, no, it's based on who performs best. No, it's based upon who does the best. No, it's not true. It's basically based upon who is the biggest follower. And you guys have probably seen this in your corporate jobs as well. It's not about who performs the best. It's about who listens to the boss the best. And so I've been lied to just as much as you guys, but I've found a way to get out of those lies and live a way that most men will never live, or most men are not living like. So,
I'll say this too. So I'm kind of going back to it because if you think about like what we're talking about, how you just need to be the guy with the X factor. You don't need the money. You don't need the status. You don't need the clout. Okay. You don't need any of that. What you need is just to have an unshakable frame, confidence, and be confident on your life path. And you can understand who can come for the ride and who cannot. If you talk about romance and if you want to talk about what women want, one of the highest grossing films across all countries, across all ethnicities, across all ages. So girls 18 to 29, 29 to 39, 39 to 49, 49 to 59. They all love the movie Titanic.
I just heard that movie's some hoe shit.
You gotta watch it. You haven't? Okay. Well, yeah, that's how young you are. Wow, fucking hell. You gotta watch Titanic. Okay. So what it is, I'll tell you the story. Okay. So it's the chick. She has the richest guy in England. One of the richest guys in England gives her a huge diamond necklace.
And it's not good enough.
And, no. Listen. So. She just doesn't like him, but she's with him because he has money, he has status. It's the right thing to do. Then she meets Jack, who's a literal homeless, womanizing piece of shit guy who's just like, he won the ticket to get on the Titanic by gambling, And he just...
In reality, that he would pull.
Yeah, so this is what happens. So she ends up falling for him. They end up hooking up and having sex in like some car downstairs in the boat, and then the Titanic crashes, and then he gives up his life. He puts her on the door and lets her like live, and then he dies, and she like remembers him for the rest of her life. She takes the fucking multiple $1 million diamond necklace off and throws it in the ocean that the guy gave it to her as well because she didn't want to marry him, and then she left his ass.
Some whole shit, bro.
Well, I mean, the reality is that Jack had the X factor.
Yeah.
He had the X, and the other guy didn't.
Yep. It doesn't matter how much money you have, whatever. Like, that's genuine desire right there. Yeah. Like, yeah, the real alpha is the one that she always thinks about forever. Even if she's not talking to him, even if he's fucking other girls, whatever. If the one that she thinks about most, that's the one. So,
No.
that's true. That is completely true. Some guy said girls will change their religion for a Chad.
I always say that on the show.
Yeah, it's still 100%,
I've
bro.
had
Yeah.
girls abandon their families, abandon their jobs.
Yeah, she likes you, yeah.
They like you. They like you.
They like you, yep.
You know. Answer this. This is a good question. Here.
Sure.
He says, "I'm curious about his parents' dynamic. Is his dad a Vietnamese Chad? Is his mom woke or anti-woke? What was their parenting like? Raising a clear-minded kid in California." It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I was not raised clear-minded, okay? Very, very clearly, I was not raised clear-minded. Now, did my parents raise me with great values and great beliefs that were stepping stones for who I am today? 100%. You know, they taught me a lot of basic things and a lot of powerful things that were unique to me. But did it make me who I am today? No. My experiences did. Me learning the hard way did. Because like I said before, there's a lot of things that my parents just didn't know and they didn't have to go through. They didn't experience a lot of the things that I was experiencing with social media, with dating or whatever. You know, they grew up in a complete different generation. And so, you know, with the problems I was facing, you know, was unique to me, and I didn't really see my parents going through it either. And, you know, my dad, it has told me in the past, you know, oh, this girl's not good for you, whatever, when I would bring a girl home. And obviously, you don't listen to your fucking parents. You look at what they do. But if I did listen to my parents, right, they probably would have been right about a few things. But you know, yeah, my parents were, I would say, I guess you could say, purple pilled. There were some things that they're based about, and there were some things that they had no understanding or idea about. And you know, there's a few things my parents told me that were true, and there's a few things that my parents told me that were completely fucking wrong. So, like, for example, my parents told me, hey, when I was starting my business, they told me either you have to get good grades and go to college and then work so you can make money, or you join the military, okay? And honestly, didn't have to do any of those things. I could have gone without any of those things and continue working my business and make a bunch of money. I didn't use, like, literally, I was making a bunch of money while I was in the military working my business. So I didn't need the military to become rich. I didn't need college to become rich. I never went to college. And there was a lot of things that, you know, that they had were limiting beliefs. And then the thing is, even if your parents love you and your parents want the best for all of us, their limiting beliefs get passed on to you.
Yes.
Their limiting beliefs and what they believe in the world get passed on to you. They literally told me, well, Logan, you're too young. Or Logan, you got to go do these things first. And I was able to do all that before what they said it was needed to become true. And of course, now they love me for it. They're like, oh my God, I always knew you were going to be rich. Oh my God, I always knew you were going to be driving a bunch of supercars. Oh my God, I always knew you were going to be happy, whatever. But when I was in the moment doing it, they had a lot of doubts. So that's the part of being a leader in yourself, is you can't always just listen to your parents, your family, or society. You have to do what's best for you and what you believe in. Okay, and that's part of being a leader. And a lot of people have that struggle. A lot of the guys that still struggle with women today are very, very close to their parents. It's like they never left home. They still live with their parents even, right? When guys live with their parents from a very like late age and they're constantly living with their parents, what that tells me, and here's the thing, that's why women make fun of these guys a lot, because they know right away there's something wrong. It's like they haven't left the nest. They haven't grown their own feathers. And so that's why it's very, very important as a man. You gotta leave the nest. You gotta move out. You gotta do your own thing. And a lot of guys who don't struggle with women, and it's no surprise.
Yeah.
So,
you know, it takes time for you to come into your own, and it takes time to be who you want to be. And the thing is, if you don't consistently work on yourself and keep on pushing forward, you're always going to stay exactly where you are at that moment. Mm-hmm. Your demons will always be there for you to stand for them and conquer them. And if you don't, you're just never going to level up. And your life is going to pass by. You're going to get more depressed as you get going on. And Yeah, Conor McGregor's parents told him to be a plumber. He quit that stuff, and now he's Conor McGregor. So I think we covered a lot today. Is there anything else you want to say in closing to everybody? Just tell them about yourself or what you got going on.
Yeah, I mean, one guy said limiting beliefs, especially with money, get passed on the most. I think that's so true, bro. So many people are passed on limiting beliefs from their parents. They literally believe that, oh, we're never going to be rich. That is literally the one mindset that's going to stop you from being rich. If you do not believe you can do it, trust me, bro, you're not going to be able to do it. If you believe I'm never going to be good with girls, trust me, you're never going to be good with girls. People underestimate the power of your belief in what you say. And I was talking to your coaching group yesterday, is how you say things, the way that you say things, and what you tell yourself is all self-hypnosis. If you tell yourself, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to win, I'm going to be the best, before you even do that thing, you are more likely to succeed than if not. And this is scientifically proven. It's not even, and it didn't even need to be scientifically proven for me to know this. Every single time I went into a wrestling match and I thought I was going to lose, I would lose. Every single time that I thought I was going to win, I would win. Every single time I walked up to a girl and I knew she's going to fucking love me, she fucking loved me. Every single time I thought, oh, what if I'm not good enough? Oh, what if I'm not tall enough? Exactly the same thing happened. So you are actually like manifesting from your beliefs into like what you see externally is what is internally. When a guy comes to me and tells me, yeah, I'm doing everything right, but I suck with women still, and I'm broke, and I'm fat, does that really mean that you're doing everything right if your results are not there? No. And there is always a short period of time where you don't always see results, right? Like when we're talking about first starting our businesses, we had the belief, but it took a while for that belief to become a reality, right? And so there is that shift from it just being a belief to it actually become a reality, which is great. But if you've been believing this for years and years and years and nothing has changed, and you've even just gotten worse, and you've just grown with age and nothing has changed, then something needs to be changed. And that's why having a coach is very, very important. Or having someone who is base enough to tell you the fucking truth. And most of you guys don't have base enough friends. Most of you guys don't have honest friends. Most of you guys have friends that want you to stay at their level. And that's the fucking reality. Most of you guys are surrounded by a bunch of losers. Be honest with yourselves. Do you guys want to be like your parents? Do you guys want to be like the people that you're around? Do you guys want to be like your teachers who are telling you to do this and that? If you don't want to be like them, don't fucking listen to them. That is the biggest thing that you have to understand. If you don't want their results, do not listen to that person. That's a huge thing. Even if it's your parents, even if it's your siblings, even if it's someone that you actually love, if they don't have what you want, do not listen to them. They are going to teach you how they got to where they got to. If you want to be rich, you don't listen to your teachers. If you want to be rich, you don't listen to your parents if they're broke. If you want to be rich, you listen to people who are rich. And very, very often, it's very different. In the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki even talks about that.
Yep.
His rich dad, which is not even actually his dad, but his mentor, tells him the complete opposite of what his biological father tells him. And he decides to overall listen to the rich dad, and he becomes a rich person. That's it. That's how it works.
Guys, if you're worried about the future of America, rest assured, this is the Zoomer class. This guy.
Well, most guys are since my age.
But I will say, for every one Logan, you can handle 100 simps.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
So this is the future, guys. Understand it's here. So like I said, man, he didn't have any privileged upbringing. He didn't have any privileged training. He didn't have privileged anything. He built himself up to a multiple six-figure business, making six figures in one day. He's a very, very intelligent young man. He's got it going on. He's got the money, muscles, game, and frame. I just wanted to bring him on so you know. I didn't prompt him to say anything that he said. This is all from him. I just wanted to give him a platform. I think he's a really great guy.
I got AI up here.
He's got AI in his ears. Yeah, there's a script thing. What is it called? Teleprompter over here. I'm like Joe Biden. What do they call it? What's that machine that tells you the words?
It's easy to speak about things when you truly believe it and you know it to be true. It's always hard to speak about things and if you don't actually truly believe it. Like I know a lot of guys. Logan over MLD. Here's the thing, guys. You guys actually have here's the thing. I've met many guys in this space. If you guys know me, you guys follow my Instagram, you guys see who I've been around and who I've networked with. And Johnathan is legit. Okay, So if you guys are following Jonathan, I told this to his coaching group the other day. You guys are in very, very safe and legit hands. And if you guys do everything that he says, you will be successful. And that's why we agree and we're on the same page. Of course, we made the thumbnail look like we're disagreeing. But even though we're from two different generations, we both agree with each other. Sure, there's differences, but overall we agree with each other. Why? Because we're both winners. That's it. And winners attract winners. Like attracts like. If a bunch of losers agree with you, you're probably a fucking loser. Why is it that a bunch of feminists try canceling us? Because we're not feminists. Why is a bunch of simps try canceling us? Because we're not simps. We're not like them. Yep. And so that's the reality.
So we're going to have Logan on again. We probably patch him remotely. You will see more of him working with us. But yeah, we're building up the United States of America network here and so much more. So appreciate you guys for being with us here. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll do comment review. I got a really good episode. We're going to talk about Wes Watson and his kind of toxic relationship, how I've been talking about it, and I know it's going to be breaking down here. Tomorrow's going to be a deep relationship breakdown. We're going to show a couple of fights, and I'm going to break down how these are two people with inner game that needs help, and they ultimately need to leave each other. They're not a good relationship partnership. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.